think I'm in the right spot, but I want to make sure that it's like narrow enough where my offer is like really speaking to someone that's just speaking to too many people at once.
Okay.
I had a handful of other things that are sort of regarding just like the starting out process of like getting my first paid clients. A bit about testimonials, because I have a handful of free clients that I've worked with that would gladly give me testimonials. So I'm just like thinking of how to structure those, and also, going forward. Yeah, a bit about the nurture sequence as well. Email, once they follow me, sort of like, hear it in stories or posts towards like them, or like what the nurture process looks like once someone's in my ecosystem. So like, one of the questions on the road is like, should I make a BSL? Yes. Or, something to send clients between the booking and the call stage, which like he did answer, but.
So let's break those down. So niche and offer. When we talked about on day one, do you have any ideas, or are you at ground zero?
Yeah, my niche is like burnt out men. So that's people who like crash in the afternoon, have no energy, have to set multiple alarms in the morning. Essentially adrenal fatigue for the most part.
Okay, so that's what I'm gonna say. Burnout won't work so much. Already tried. Adrenal fatigue. I think women are more problem aware of that. So we have 3 levels of marketing, right? You have people who don't even know they have a problem, don't know they need help. You have people that know they have a problem, but they don't know the solution. Then you have solution aware people, but they don't know like the product. Then you have product aware. They know who you are. They know exactly what you do. You are product aware for me right now. You know everything. You just haven't pulled the trigger. If pre-sales call with me, you were solution aware. You know you had a problem. You just didn't know what I did that could help you fix it. Right? So all that to say, your top of funnel content would have to like list symptoms. Hey, if you have these symptoms, you will probably have adrenal fatigue. Here's how you fix adrenal fatigue. So you have to make people problem aware, top of funnel. Because that's not something a lot of people are aware of.
So like, hey, if you have to set like 8 alarms in the morning to get up, or if you're like relying on caffeine too much.
So a hook may be, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you have these symptoms, adrenal fatigue is probably the reason you can't lose weight. And then you just start listing symptoms. Need more than 1 cup of coffee per day. Don't sleep through the night. Mind racing before bed, like whatever the symptoms would be.
That answers that. The adrenal fatigue, like, I feel like, I didn't even know about it, and I'd like to consider myself well versed until a year ago. My initial thought is like, who's going to know about it? But then you sort of like mention it in the top of funnel content. If you have these symptoms, might be adrenal fatigue, make them sort of aware. So I guess it's also similar. I'm like figuring these things out as I'm talking to like that top of funnel content. Me mentioning adrenal fatigue is sort of like packaging, so to speak, is like how people package an offer. So it's like this person doesn't know about adrenal fatigue, but now they sort of have like this package of what their issue might be. Does that make sense?
Kind of. So like someone knows that the reason they don't go to the gym is because they never have energy. They wake up tired all the time. All they can think about after work is just going to bed, etc. So to them, that's what they think is causing them to be overweight. How you package feeling tired, waking up tired, needing to go to bed after is you have adrenal fatigue, or you can like, let's just call it something stupid. You have tired syndrome, right? Now it's a way to package just being tired, way to package eating like shit, not moving. That's why you feel like crap. Just make it sound sexy. Like, oh, I have that problem. I didn't know about this. Let me listen to a little bit more about it.
So I guess going back down to like in my bio, I wrote like, I help burnt out men. That was sort of just like me. I needed to make the step of like committing like this Instagram page now for business, like officially. So I was like, I'm just going to write something. Like get done. What would you suggest, I guess, like repackaging that? I basically listed all the symptoms, but it's like relying on caffeine, tired all the time, and it's also the mental too. So I'd love to offer mindset sort of coaching on the application of it, but also just like outlook of like gratitude and all this stuff, whatever. So like how would you recommend packaging that, or steer me in the right direction of finding a packaging?
Like what to offer when someone gives you money, you mean? Or like what your niche will ultimately be and what you would say in your content?
What my niche would also.
I think trying to think if I've ever seen. Let's look it up. Let's see if there's adrenal fatigue fitness coaches. My issue with that is you're going to get people who are convinced they're too tired for help. You're going to have to talk them about why you should do it. The objection is going to be, I'm just so tired, I can't do it. So like, I don't know, that person, although it may be true, I feel like it's going to be like pulling teeth, getting them to actually take action if they're like actually super tired all the time. I'm looking at these pages. Yeah, so if you type in on Instagram, you'll see, I'm not seeing anyone with like big pages. So adrenal fatigue and weight loss, she has like 1,100 followers. Cortisol is more so the sexy thing.
Right.
That's the sexy topic. Is like, here are symptoms of high cortisol. Here's how, like that was I think it's kind of weaning down now. Like a year ago, cortisol, everything was cortisol. If you even go to my page, I hopped on the trend. It was just making so much money. But I think you would package it, which I was thinking, as cortisol.
So like for my free clients, for example, and like people have helped in the past, like within like a month, I almost entirely reverse like the issues that they have.
Yep.
And then it's just a matter of like, okay, now the next part, like there's phases to improving and making sure you don't like fall back into that pattern. So I don't necessarily think that it would be like it wouldn't have energy to follow through and like be a good client, if that makes sense. I don't know if you were trying to like go away from that or...
No, I think if you're going to do adrenal fatigue, do cortisol. And the way we used to frame it is, we have a mindset coach, which was Amelia. And we explain to them, hey, when you are under eating so much, right, eating 1,200 calories, you're so stressed at work, your body goes into fight or flight, and it thinks it's dying, so it holds on to body fat. We have to activate your sympathetic, deactivate parasympathetic, forget which one actually it is. And so that sympathetic nervous system is the thing that's keeping you from actually losing this weight, or parasympathetic, whatever one is, fight or flight, whichever one that is, I forget right now, I'm drawing a blank. We package it as, we have to solve that mindset work, de-stress, supplements, and then we'll have the energy and the know-how to then work out, eat better, stuff like that. So that's how you would package that as a mindset coach, deep into nervous system stuff, supplementation, use like protocols, and then workouts, nutrition. Body will change as a byproduct of first solving the cortisol issue. Because when I was doing this cortisol marketing, I'd get on the call with people and I'd say, well, I was super interested about what you do for cortisol and high stress and that kind of stuff.
I guess then my next question, and it would be the same if I stuck with like burnt out men, but if I was to use cortisol, kind of losing my question. I guess people would come to me for cortisol and stay for the also other things too. So I'm good at answering my own questions. I guess I just don't know how I feel about like using cortisol in my packaging, I guess. Because like my framing of it was that essentially it's like the old version of myself. You know, I was depressed, I was tired, using caffeine, all these symptoms that I mentioned. So I have a very good understanding of like where I was, what I did to get out of it, the sort of mindset shifts and all these things that have to take place to get here from A to B. That's what I've helped like my 4 free clients with. It's like that exact system. So I've heard the term like unique mechanism. So I guess I could technically just find like the unique mechanism for what I'd call my solution.
Is that your unique mechanism is this nervous system reset protocol. That's your unique mechanism. You don't have to do that. That's an example with cortisol that we used.
Right. So if let's say a lot of that, because that sounds better and it's easier for me to use that. So like in my bio and in my marketing, I would essentially say that I have like a nervous system reset. I guess that's it. I don't remember. Hey. See, so like and what struck me really well when we had the sales call, the second call with you, you're like, there's information gatherers, there's action takers, and I'd like to believe I'm pretty smart. It's just like a matter of taking action. So yeah, I guess that's why I'm answering my own questions. I have like some specific ones too, if it's full fans, pass those.
Yeah.
In terms of like my Instagram, my plan was to essentially just post my authentic self beyond fitness. Things like camping for me has really brought me some of the beneficial things that I think help these people, this avatar.
just going to say it immediately so I don't forget. Like if you're standing in a tree stump with a river behind you, you have the river flowing and you make that cinematic scene and you do like this thing and, you know, set the scene where like, then you talk about nature and how it helped you reset your fight or flight response and it grounded you and it took you from, you know, constantly on the go and stress to at peace, which allowed you to then get the body that you're posing on the tree stump for. So like you can go into nature and talk about how that helped you into your unique mechanism.
So even if I don't necessarily like preach like you got to go camping or go into nature, like I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but it's just like how I do it.
Yeah.
That's still a good way to market it.
Yep. Your journey, your story, people will buy from you, not the fitness robot who only talks about workouts, nutrition,
Right.
you know, meditation. Show them your life. You know, hypothetically, can we, or we should, think of us as a Netflix series and get people to follow our journey and be in the Netflix series and just pretend like someone, and you would make, and I would make way more money if I had someone following me with a camera 24/7. I don't have the money for that, but like it would show people day in the life of me every single day. And then people who can relate to that will then become my clients.
So I guess like my old journey is sort of how I get people into my ecosystem. So like I'll do what I was planning on doing of like obviously post workout stuff and whatnot, but I just sort of like post my daily life and sort of relate it back to how it has helped me get out of that position, or in the future as I get clients, like sort of how XYZ has helped them get out of this position.
That is a component of it, yes. There's no content that is gonna hurt you unless like just go say something stupid. Any content, day in the life, you know, again, authenticity. Cat died, you're on the treadmill, Stairmaster, and you're just crying because your cat died. Post it, and people will relate. We'll see that you're a human. We'll have that connection. Lifestyle content. If you love going in nature, take a GoPro and just like have your GoPro selfie stick and just talk while you're walking in nature. Talk about the benefits, why you like doing it. People will relate to that. You have your viral type content. And you have your value content, which will get people to see you as an authority.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I remember the 4 types of posts that you said to make too. So the next thing, so I've like the testimonials that you have on the next gen page, or it might just be Mike Gerardi page, but like the Zoom format, like as you're recording of your Zoom, you think that's an effective way for me to have testimonials like on my page?
Like how I have it on my page, they're just the format of the Instagram post, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It works for me. You know, don't get too cute with that. Don't like that's one of those things that you can overthink. At the end of the day, it's what they're saying. It's not the format of the post. So yeah, you just take it from Zoom, chop it up. I throw it in an app called InShot because it'll make it 4x5 for me with like a nice blue background and post it up. And I've seen ones that are way better than mine, but that's just what I do.
That's it. Okay. And then somebody said earlier today was like the low hanging fruit of like DMing my card followers. That was always something that hung up on me, was like, I don't want to message people that I know, but I guess like what would you recommend so I can better understand if like the low hanging fruit that you talk about, is that like reaching out to just people,
Family, friends, followers, anyone that you can contact at some, like anyone in your phone list right now, anyone that follows you, any Facebook friends, like anyone that you can physically reach out to and like try to contact. Low-hanging fruit that you know. Low-hanging fruit the strategy is people that you know, and people who have followed you for a while, because there's 2 different types of scripts. The low-hanging fruit script is for like close friends and family. That's one script. Then the regular messaging script can still be used with low-hanging people, but like that you just don't know. So followers. Make sense?
Yeah, so I guess I want to ask you for the script, but sort of just like the framing of it.
So for your mom, your dad, like, you know what I mean? Like those types of people, like your closest friends that you feel funny charging, that you are reaching out to them to say, I'm doing this thing. Do you know of anyone? Best case scenario, they say, me. Worst case scenario, they say, no, but I will keep you in mind. Middle scenario is yes, let me connect you with them. So you're kind of low key asking them if they want to, but it's not like, you're not just saying, do you want to do this? Yeah. Right? The other one is, I'm talking to you. Do you want help? Like the other one meaning like people from high school you haven't talked to in 5 years, your followers, people who you haven't seen in more than 6 months.
It's sort of just being more direct, like
Just following the script. I went like, what are your goals? What have you tried, etc. Hey, I have this new case study program, looking for 5 people to give me some good testimonials, 50% off.
Right. Okay. Got it. And then, yeah, you've mentioned like a minimum price in 1,500 for 3 months. So I'd do 750 for those like case studies.
Nope. 1,500 is your 50% off, because that, not that you're undercharging, but you could be charging more, and that is on the lower end already. So like, you don't want to even go lower unless you don't care. Of course, you could do whatever you want, but that is your 50% off. The price at the end of the day isn't going to matter. If they can pay 750, they can pay 1,500. But to them, the 50% off is like, oh, let me hop on it, because then it's going to be 3K after.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I guess it makes sense. I've had a hard time sort of like shifting from like, because I've had bodybuilding coaches where they give you a nutrition plan, they give you a training plan, and then they check in weekly. It has a service. It's not a solution.
Yep.
Obviously, I'm still service, but so shifting that mindset is taking me some time. It's just like I'm charging 1,500 and that's 50% off.
Yeah, you'll get it.
Cool. Okay. And I think that comes with time of just like being on sales pulse.
Of course.
Next question I had was for lead magnets. I've heard to like solve one issue of my ideal client. Like, what would you suggest? Would you do like a low ticket product or like a lead magnet?
Lead magnet, unless you're someone like Steph who has hundreds of thousands of comments every week. Free lead magnet, make it good, and the lead magnet should solve the problem, be easy to implement, and give them results fast. Because if they get results fast, ooh, this works. This is the free thing. Imagine what if I pay a little bit.
Yeah. So do I just pick like a niche? Sorry. Do I pick a small issue of my ideal client, or like what would you?
Yep. So let's just use an example of what we talked about. How to reset your nervous system to get out of fight or flight and eliminate all stress in your life. Okay. Give them a little meditation or whatever you want to do for that. And if they feel better after a few days, they're like, oh, this was great. I got to look up what this Kyle dude's all about, right? You can give them a macro calculator with maybe some tips that you'd give them, and lose 5 pounds in 5 days. Not the craziest promise in the world. 5 pounds in 7 days, 3 pounds in 3 days. Wow, I've actually followed this and lost 3 pounds. This is great. What if I hired this guy for 12 weeks?
Would you suggest I just create one? Or like, I guess maybe that's
come up with a couple. Wouldn't make a million, because if you have to make a million, that means your messaging is all over the place and you're not super clear. But you'll notice as you post content, if something that you said went super viral because it got a ton of comments, you should probably make a lead magnet for that thing, or more spin-offs of that lead magnet.
Right.
Versus if you made a lead magnet and every time you say that you're giving this lead magnet away, no one cares, no one comments, don't make it.
So I guess based off of the lead magnet, because obviously, from what I've learned, should try and get people to email, sort of like be able to nurture them further. Obviously, the whole point of the lead magnet is to get their email, right? So once I get their email, should I like pre-build an email sequence, or what do you suggest?
Yes. So they give you their email, you continue the conversation inside of the DM, and then you should have what I call a propaganda sequence, or a indoctrination sequence, where you're just pushing sales call for 4 days, where they're the hottest, most intentful, they're motivated, they know who you are. And after that, you move into like just a main nurture sequence where you send out just value emails, sort of thing.
Okay. So someone comments, I send them the money chat automation or whatever. I get their email, I send them a lead magnet. For the next 4 days while they're still hot, what would an email look like? Would it just be like, hey, thanks for the lead magnet?
I'll show you. So a lead magnet delivery email, the welcome email, first lead magnet text. So this is like, here's your lead magnet. This is cool. You're welcome to my email list. Take me out of your spam folder if I'm in there, so you don't miss anything.
Right.
Follow me on all my social media. Here's the first text that I send them automatically. Hey, it's Mike Gerardi, owner of my businesses. Any questions about this thing that I just sent you? So a texting, hopefully get a response. Response rate will be way higher in text. I wait 1 day, 24 hours. Hey, name, I have a couple questions about your business. Can we hop on a quick call? I want to show you some of the business systems that are making our clients between this much and this month a month. I saw you were checking out this thing I just gave you, and figured you'd be interested in knowing more about having us do this, do this, do this, the things that they struggle with.
Right.
I'll kick a list of clients, testimonials down the bottom so you can see kind of what we do, but I'd love to ask some questions about your marketing, sales, and coaching process. Hit me with a reply if it's cool to pick your brains, like low key, soft ask, etc. Wait another day. Last reminder, don't miss out on the access. So you keep making sure that they get access, like here's your access, here's your access, here's your access. PS, if you want, we can help you down the bottom. So you kind of put it as a PS.
Cool. Gotcha. Now, the way you framed that, it seems as though it won't be a sales call.
The first one, yes.
The first email?
The first email. The second one, well, if I sent this to you, you know it would be you're aware of what the funnel is. Usually B2C, business to consumer, they're not aware of this unless you're speaking to a high-level person. Like if I were to get your lead magnet, I know what you're trying to do. If you get, our chef into your lead magnet, she has no idea she actually thinks you're just trying to get on a call to help her.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just how aware are they?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So then, assuming I set up like this sequence of emails, knowing it's B2C, how would I frame that? Like, would I do a 2-call setup?
If they get on this call, yeah, it's definitely a 2-call. Like you don't want any friction here, unless like you're straight up asking how we can help and like if you want to hire us sort of thing.
Right.
But if you're kind of trying to be low key, keep it frictionless, no application, especially you where you don't have like a full calendar. If you have a full calendar, friction. But beggars can't be choosers in your standpoint. Just get them on the phone, qualify them on the phone, and it's like, let's set up a call for tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Sweet. So what about like when someone asks for price prior to getting up sales call? Is that sort of like I individualize packages?
Yep, exactly.
All time, right?
Yep, I'll show you exactly. If you want, I can show you what I say.
I mean, you've said it to me before, so.
Cool, there you go. A little bit different for fitness, obviously, but same gist.
Okay. Honestly, no, I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, answered all my questions, man. Dude, I want to say thank you for everything.
Hell yeah, man.
Listen,
Thanks for coming.
awesome, dude.
Hell yeah. Just the beginning.
Yeah, I hope you get to like look at the trees you've planted, so to speak, because they're like fucking cool, man.
Yeah, you're gonna be planting them too, dude. Just in a little bit different way, and hopefully I can help you impact more people at some point.
For sure.
Cool.
Thank you, man.
You got it, man.